walked closer and leaned into his father. His shaky little hand gently stroked Zara's head. Amjad felt his heart break. "My beautiful little boy," he said as he enveloped his son. They all huddled together for some time, Zara wrapped in the silky smoothness of her mother's shawl and sleeping soundly against her father's chest. Sahil, small and as fragile as a baby deer, struggling to take his first steps in a new world, a world without his mother, and Amjad holding them all together. He must stop feeling sorry for himself, he thought. He was determined to protect his children from anything. Pain would have no place in his household. He would fling it out the door at its first appearance. The dull orange glow shed light on the family's silhouette in the darkened room. A raindrop slid down the window. Chapter 2. February 1994. The nagging started a year after Neelam's passing. As they approached the dreaded first anniversary, Amjad's mother seemed to grow in confidence. "You need to marry again," she said, peering at him expectantly through her jam jar glasses. "Are you listening to me?" Amjad rolled his eyes. "Do you want to eat sagaloo tonight, Ammi?" he asked, jumping up from the sofa and heading towards the kitchen. Food was his second-best tactic at diverting the conversation of marriage. Running out of the room was the first. On this occasion, despite combining them both, Amjad knew he wasn't going to get out of it so easily. His mother's voice followed him into the kitchen. It grew shrill and spiky, almost as if it had developed fingers and clipped him around the ears. "Don't change the subject," she snapped. Amjad flinched at the sound. He knelt down and opened his cupboards. His scowl turned into a beam as he admired his fully stocked shelves. As soon as Ammi announced that she would be visiting, Amjad had rushed out to replenish the groceries. He didn't want a repeat of what had happened on her last visit. She'd opened the cupboards to find nothing but baby food, sweet corn, and an out-of-date tin of tuna. As expected, a rant had ensued. This time the kitchen was well stocked with fresh ingredients. Amjad reached in and sliced open a brand new sack of potatoes. He eyed some tinned spinach, but remembered that he'd bought a fresh bag for tonight's supper. Ammi wouldn't be impressed with anything that came out of a tin. He placed both items on the worktop and realized that Ammi was still talking. "The kids need a mother," she called out. "You can't do it all by yourself." Amjad sighed and realized that Ammi wasn't going to drop it. Reluctantly, he headed back towards the lounge and peered around the door. He saw his mother's slightly magnified eyes focus on him through her glasses. She sat up straight, raring to go. Amjad took a seat opposite and watched her adjust the loosely draped scarf around her neck impatiently. He braced himself. A year after Neelam's passing was, according to Ammi, a reasonable time frame in which to mention marriage. It was her way of being tactful. After all, it was the first of that year. Each hurdle had been planned by Amjad to reduce the trauma for them all. He'd fretted over what to do for Sahil's first birthday without his mum. An answer came in the form of Hussain, Sahil's best friend at school. They'd spent the day playing together at a trampoline park before ending with a sleepover at Hussain's house. It was for the best to keep Sahil away from home. A home without Neelam. Amjad was quite sure that Sahil hadn't completely forgotten about his mother's absence on his birthday. He was, in fact, just better at surviving. Children always were, everyone told Amjad. Eid was another major hurdle. As the day approached, Amjad just wanted to be as far away as possible. An empty home on Eid would feel like a betrayal to Neelam, but the smell of her cooking would not fill the rooms. There would be no samosas crackling as they entered the hot oil, or lamb biryani steaming when removed from the oven. Neelam's soft voice would not nag Amjad to smarten up his clothes for when the guests arrived, or scold Sahil for making the living room untidy again. How then could Amjad spend Eid there? Ammi seemed to offer a solution by inviting them to her house. She called Javed, Amjad's brother, and ordered him to drive up from Birmingham to spend the day with them.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.